cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate, helping with your buying decisions. We want to be that super connector here in Tampa Bay to all these area local expert contributors, business owners, folks that come in and take time out of their busy schedule. All types of great companies represented here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. ConsumerQB.com. You can find links there to ConsumerQB.com. Previous videos. All of our expert contributors will be listed there on the website, and the goal is to help you be a more informed consumer, making you more street smart here, and help you avoid all that what I call commission breath. Everywhere you turn around, somebody trying to sell you something or get you into some type of product that you really don't need or want. ConsumerQB.com is the site for that. Save our hotline number. Reach out if you want to have an introduction. We got a great lineup for you today. These are two people that you definitely want to reach out to and make an introduction to. 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894. Just call or text that line. We'll put you in touch with Michelle James, tax resolution specialist, TaxPro of Tampa, on the show today, as well as Jackson Shembekar, the crypto kid. I'm holding up his book if you're watching our TV show version. The book is out. Crypto is here to stay. The world is transforming. Cryptocurrency expert, NFT expert as well. Here on the show today. Before we jump into that great content, I will let you know about a couple of hot listings that we have listed with our real estate company, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. All right, so we got a property at 13335 County Line Road in Spring Hill. This is a commercial property. Great opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. Its property is located, it's about 5 acres, and it's rezoned now to commercial as an existing building on site, 2,700 square feet, can be occupied or rented, and it's next to the villages of Avalon and Public Shopping Plaza. Great opportunity to own real estate. 13335 County Line Road in Spring Hill, and also 207 East Lutz Lake Fern Road. This is a residential property, about an acre of land. You could build multiple properties, multiple structures here on this property in Land O'Lakes. Great opportunity to see real estate at ConsumerQB.com, and you can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, we got the crypto kid in the house. Jackson, welcome back.
Thanks a lot, Brandon. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Mr. Shembekar, welcome back. So, let's jump right into it. There's a lot to cover here, and I think there's a lot of questions. A lot of people, they don't even know what crypto is. So we could definitely jump into the definition of crypto, and then these NFTs. What is an NFT?
Of course, yeah. I mean, crypto is the broad topic, and a lot of people are actually beginning to finally understand that, and we can talk about that in Bitcoin and Ethereum. But people actually, I'm going to say, are slowly getting that. So we're going to dive into NFTs now. It's a more specific subject in the broad industry now.
Yep.
An NFT means a non-fungible token. All it means is a non-replaceable token.
Okay.
But even breaking it down as non-replaceable, people still sometimes don't get it, and it means it's secured on the blockchain, which means everything is traceable, it's fully transparent, all the buzzwords you hear all the time when revolving around crypto. But I want to give a real-world example. So for a non-fungible token, let's say you had a grandfather that passed away and gave you a family heirloom, whether that's a watch, a shirt, a tie, anything like that.
Yep.
That family heirloom, no matter what it is, even if it's just a $10 item, anything like that, it now has a new meaning to it. It provides that sentimental value, right? Now, no matter what it is, even if you were to lose that and go buy a new one, whatever it is, it's not going to be the same.
Right.
It has to have the sentimental value.
Right.
And I compare that to NFTs because you cannot replace an NFT. And for the first time, you cannot replace something that is digital. And that's a huge revolution, digitally speaking, because if I send something to you, I no longer have it myself, which is huge, because if I have a picture and I send it to you, what happens normally if I send it to via text, via flash drive, whatever I send it, I have it and you have it.
Right.
For the first time, it can disappear from me and appear to you.
Wow.
And that's a whole new means in this digital economy, and I think it's going to be very, very big in the future, and that's why I'm huge in this space, and I am an NFT collector myself.
So I want to ask you specifically about one of them that you purchased. It's Bored Ape Yacht Club. Tell us about that.
Absolutely, yeah. The Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's the biggest project in NFTs at the moment. It's been that way for a while now. It came to inception back in the tail end of Q1 in 2021, which seems actually close when you think about investing in the grand scheme of things, but 9 months ago, this is one of the oldest projects in NFTs now, excluding CryptoPunks. CryptoPunks is the biggest and most well-known, but Bored Ape Yacht Club has found a way to surpass that. And believe it or not, the Ethereum floor price today is 83 Ethereum. And if you do the math, that's 83 times 3,300. So
wow.
It is a lot. I mean, I've been involved in this project for a while. I've been in NFTs for over a year now, and I only bought one actually. It's called Aped In. I only bought one about 3 months ago, but you would not believe it when I tell you I paid 52 Ethereum for this, and I just told you the floor price was 83 though, so I'm doing very well on it. But it's unbelievable what this project is doing. I bought in at $207,000 at 52 Ethereum. Ethereum price was around 4,000 at that time. And people don't understand that. It's a JPEG. That's all it is, right? It's digital art. And I paid $207,000. And people ask, well, why? What is the reason? Is there any actual value to this? And believe it or not, I would argue yes. So I'm going to break that down a little bit real quick. Number one, you get full licensing rights to what you buy, which is huge in this space. So I can throw an ape, a highly coveted ape, a highly coveted picture onto a hoodie, and I can go sell that hoodie. And believe it or not, the community is so expansive that I would be able to sell more than 5,000 hoodies.
Got it.
And I know it's crazy, but it would happen, right?
Wow.
And so you get full licensing rights. Number two, you get private invitations to parties across the country. I'm talking actual like private yacht parties because it's the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Wow.
Myself and a +1 get to go, and I get to get full exclusive access to that. Number three, I get full exclusive access to a Discord. And what's ended up happening in this community, and it's become more than just this picture, it is the community. It embodies what that means in the Bored Ape Yacht Club and in the NFT space. Because the only people that have access to this Discord are ape owners. And the only people that are ape owners, I kind of classify it into 3 people. You have celebrities, rich people, and early adopters. Mm-hmm. That's it. And so the only way you can get into this space is being classified as one of those 3 people.
Yeah.
And it's a fascinating space because you have the tech nerds that are early adopters, and they got in way early.
Yep.
But those are now the geniuses. That's what it is. These guys are paying what the initial mint price was $180, and now the floor is about $300,000.
Wow.
And these rarer apes, which I know it's crazy, but there are apes that have a higher rarity and are selling for more and more and more. Apes are selling for more than $1 million.
Wow.
You had pictures of apes, 4 of them, a collection that got auctioned at Sotheby's. I mean, it might have been actually Christie's, but one of the biggest auction houses in the world.
Yep. And
they're selling these digital pictures of apes.
Wow. It's interesting. We're talking with Jackson Shembekar here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, cryptocurrency expert, NFT expert, and author of The Crypto Kid, and a great book if you want to check that out as well. Folks can find your book online, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yeah. It's on Amazon. And it'll be on any bookstore in America in about 24 hours. So.
Nice. Very cool. And so it's an interesting space. You talk about blockchain. I think maybe people might not understand what that is, what that means. But these NFTs, you mentioned Gary Vee also in our pre-show talk. When you look at that, these guys are early adopters, and it seems like a lot of these folks that have a high level sphere of influence. I think the Mark Cubans and folks like that, they've developed their own cryptocurrencies or NFTs. Can you talk a little bit about that? How some of the celebrities are kind of launching their own?
It's really, really big part of it. And I think, and I'm looking into creating my own. I've got a couple of MLB guys that are reaching out to me. And the biggest thing is you have to have a platform.
Right.
It's known as a community in the NFT space, as I've already said, but that platform is huge. And like you described it as influence, that's all it is. It's massive though. And so what's happening right now is the only way to produce a successful NFT is to have a Discord or a Twitter or something with thousands and thousands of followers. So I'll name drop a project right now, Invisible Friends. It's a new project that'll be minting in February 2022. So very brand new, it's about to come to fruition. There are virtually no details about that project yet, but it has more than 200,000 followers on Twitter. There's only 2 reasons. Number 1, the artwork. Number 2, the hype. That's it.
Right.
That's it. That's all it is. And what happens is that generates a lot of publicity, and it gets these projects off the floor. And of mint prices that are absolutely ridiculous, you have mint prices that are $180 or mint prices that are $500. Some of these mint prices are over 1 Ethereum. And like I said, the Ethereum price is over $3,000. And so it makes no sense that a brand new artist, a brand new art piece, can come out and sell for this much and sell thousands of them and sell out within a 24-hour period.
Well,
but that's what the community does.
On that topic, too, you got Facebook launching now this new universe or whatever they called it. And you've got metaverse.
Yes.
So you got people that are, at an all-time history, we printed over 50% of the American currency is new in circulation in the last 18 months.
Absolutely.
50% of the dollar.
Yep.
So a lot of these, great reset type, globalists, I believe, they're watering down the United States currency. They're trying to debase it, basically, the currency. So that's a topic to explore. But, then you've got people investing in real estate and this virtual metaverse. But, my point is, the middle class, they've lost, I think it's close to $5 trillion of wealth transfer over these last 18 months.
For sure.
So how do people, the average layperson or a middle class person, have money to invest in the metaverse when they're still trying to invest in their own groceries to feed their family,
Oh, I hear you, for sure. The biggest thing is that when you're talking about the metaverse and these NFT things, number one, you have to do your research, of course, and you have to build the competency in the space, which is kind of the hardest part of the project.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that it is speculative investing at the end of the day.
Right.
You have to be able to take on the risk. But if you can, that means that if you fall into the category of an accredited investor, if you fall into someone with the competency to do this, I really, really believe that not only you should, that it will be here for the future.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. You're buying real estate in the metaverse, which is just the recreation of the universe digitally.
Yep.
But people like the regular universe. Like that makes no sense.
Right.
But a piece of land that sold next to Snoop Dogg's metaverse house sold for $500K.
Yeah.
Someone bought that.
Yeah.
For $500K. Someone sold that for $500K.
Yeah.
That it's absolutely wild, but it's happening and it's not slowing down.
And there's a meeting of the minds. There's
Absolutely.
a buyer and a seller for that. And I bet you Snoop probably got his gifted to him just so he could have it, so he would bring his name there.
Yes, and this stuff happens nonstop. I mean, Stanford University held a class in the metaverse. I mean, Facebook changed their name to Meta.
Yeah.
This is here in the future. It's going to be staying. It's just a matter of how far are we going to get into it and how much adoption is really going to happen.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break here. We got Jackson Shembekar here in studio, cryptocurrency expert here in Tampa Bay, NFT expert, and lots of more good details to come. More about, have you ever wanted to know what is crypto? What is NFTs and how does this play out in the future? We're going to talk with him, young prodigy here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Coming up, we got Michelle James as well. She's our tax resolution specialist, TaxPro of Tampa. We're going to talk about the tax implications of crypto and other currencies, and of course real estate as well here on the show. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram, Twitter, and Getter. Our YouTube channel, over 1.7 thousand videos now, 1,700 videos on our YouTube channel, and Brandon Rhymes PA on Facebook. We'll be right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
The Consumer Quarterback Show will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text. Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We'd love to talk to you. We got a couple of hot listings here in Tampa Bay. We'd like to feature our real estate listings live on air on the program to help you understand your buying decisions, get more exposure on the listing side as well. We got 6806 Pearson Lane in Wesley Chapel. If you're living in the city and you say, hey, I want to go out to the country, I want to get out of these lockdown areas, well, not in Florida, but specifically maybe out of state. We got 6 acres for sale. It's got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home on it as well. 6 acres, no HOA or CDD. You got a property at 6806 Pearson Lane, Wesley Chapel. No HOA, 1,700 plus living square footage, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 6 acres, right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Also, 15806 Adobe Drive in Hudson, Pasco County. Great opportunity, 2-story floor plan. You got 8 bedrooms, 4 baths, wood-burning fireplace right here in Tampa Bay. Beautiful property, 15806 Adobe Drive. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. All right, we got Jackson Shembekar in the house. The Crypto Kid is his book. You can find his book online, and we've got a lot to cover here in this crypto space, cryptocurrency space. Talk to me about what influencers are doing, because we talked about how if you have that platform, you kind of got a leg up over the average layperson. But Gary V, for example, Gary V, what's the latest with Gary V for Vaynerchuk, if you haven't heard of him?
Yeah, you got it. Absolutely. The influencers in this space have a massive, massive advantage. What you can do is you can control the community and that big influence to allow it to bring into a project. And what these projects have done, and what makes another key aspect of NFTs unique, is that the artist, the creator, gets a royalty on every sale. Mm-hmm. And that's huge. So imagine you as a real estate agent, you make your 3% or whatever the percentage with KW, you get that percent every sale on the house.
Right.
Imagine you're the builder of the house and you get a percent every time the house sells ever in the future.
I like that.
Yeah. And so what these artists have done is they create these massive collections, and if they sell out and if they resale, they get 2.5, 5, 7.5, or 10% of every single resale.
Wow.
And so these collections are huge. They're selling for thousands, hundreds of thousands, even Bored Apes, millions of dollars. And every single sale gets that royalty to the original creators.
Who are some of the, like Shaquille O'Neal? Like who? Tell me some names.
Any of this. Yeah. So I'll give the Gary V example now. So what Gary V did, he created Fly Fish Club. And what Fly Fish Club is it's a very, very proprietary idea, very cool idea. What he did was, it's a private restaurant that will be launching in New York City, and the only way you can dine there is if you own one of the NFTs in the Fly Fish Club.
Okay.
The only way. And so this project sold out very, very quickly. The mint price was, I believe, 2.5 Ethereum.
Yeah.
2.5 Ethereum. That's going to be it's just under 10 grand.
Wow.
That sold out. It can now fund the creation of the private enterprise in New York City.
Yeah.
It's going to be an open lounge. It's going to be an open cocktail bar and a private, even more exclusive area for sushi and stuff like that. Right.
Yeah.
Fly Fish Club. Hence the name. And this exclusive access immediately sold out. There's resale value, and the only people that can attend are holders and holders as guests.
Yeah. Well, Jonathan has it up on our screen if you're watching our streaming version, or we stream it live to Facebook every time you hear the show. You can find it on Apple, Amazon, Roku, 80 different outlets worldwide. So if you're watching the TV show version, you can kind of see that. We put these assets up on the screen. I want to bring Michelle James into the conversation. She is our CPA / tax resolution specialist, TaxPro of Tampa. Hey, Michelle.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Doing wonderful. So we're
Can
talking.
you hear me well?
We sure can. Yep, sounds great. So we're talking cryptocurrency, NFTs, and I wanted to bring you into the conversation as well. Start talking a little bit about how the IRS looks at these transactions, and what some of the changes are that we can expect there as well.
Absolutely. So for those who keep hearing cryptocurrency, NFTs. All that is, it's just a digital representation of value. It's a virtual currency, which is a digital representation of value. So the IRS now looks at that as property. So it is being treated as property. As if we are going out and buying a piece of real estate.
Right.
Once we sell that, we are required to pick up capital gains or loss subjected to the same rules, right? So as we would with any type of stock. Now, the IRS has, they will allow for basis, as they call it. Okay, so your basis would be what you have paid for the stock.
Right.
But basis can change, and it can now become an adjusted basis depending on whatever expenses or additions that we have made or transactions with that particular cryptocurrency. So we'll have basis and we'll have adjusted basis. We begin to recognize income once we sell. So the act of going out to buy cryptocurrency is not a taxable transaction.
Right. Yeah, just when you realize it. Now, let me ask you something also, just on the just any kind of transaction. I know there was talk a while back. It might have been one of our last appearances with you. There was some talk about, and I think it was the Democrats pushing more of this, but it was to charge, your tax would be implicated not just on when you realize it, but also once it went up in on value, paper value. Did that ever pass?
No, it did not.
Okay.
No, it
Thank
did
God.
not. So right.
Right.
So again, until it is realized, now
right.
What some of the other changes are is, let's say you have performed a service and you say, well, Michelle, I'm going to pay you in cryptocurrency. Mm-hmm. Well, now I need to start picking that up as income.
Got it.
So immediately that is recognized, right? The fact that you have paid me for a service, immediately that is recognizable. Okay, yeah. Not when I decide to sell it, not when I decide to do anything with it, but immediately upon payment of services, then I would have to realize it. So that they did pass. So any type of transaction that we use cryptocurrency in, it is recognizable at that point. And, of course, basis, again, is determined with any type of fees that's included, any type of commissions or acquisition cost.
Interesting.
To come up with what the basis is, yes. Now, let's say you pay me in cryptocurrency and you can't really give me what the adjusted basis is. Well, I'm supposed to recognize it at fair market value, meaning that day, what is it being traded as?
Okay.
Or I can also use what my fees were to recognize it as fair market value. Now, that's going to be under a lot of scrutiny, right? If we understand that, that's going to be under a lot of scrutiny because it can be subjective. But in the IRS's eyes, it is not to be subjective, right? Right. It's whatever that service is worth is really what you should be reporting it as, which would be similar to the fair market value.
Right. Yeah, we're talking with Michelle James, tax resolution specialist, CPA. She's also an attorney. So TaxPro of Tampa.com, TaxPro of Tampa.com. We've got Jackson Shembekar in the house as well, cryptocurrency expert on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're coming up against our next break, so about 30 seconds here, Michelle. What are you seeing just as a general trend right now? We've had a lot of wealth transfer. A lot of people are looking for ways to kind of shelter themselves. Take us into our next break here.
As always, I rally for real estate. It's the hottest market right now, and if we're looking for any type of tax shelters, and that's in addition to any type of trust that you would set up and nonprofits. But if we're looking for, transactional activities, real estate is definitely the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit more about did the IRS, I want you to answer this question on the flip side if we can, did the IRS move forward with that proposal to hire, 85,000 IRS agents?
Yes,
some of the different,
did.
They did. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so stay with us right here. More with Michelle James and Jackson Shembekar here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus our feel-good story of the day. We got a local Tampa woman inspires others to turn their lives around through a program of overcoming addiction. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Jonathan, let me know when you need, when we can go through. All right, stand by, everybody.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, back here in studio, Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. Real excited, too, about a recent certification. I just entered an exclusive club with Keller Williams. We have a sports and entertainment certification that I just joined. So it's less than 150 agents worldwide that are kind of in that exclusive club. So real excited about that, working with athletes, celebrities, musicians, and Keller Williams has a network of 189,000 agents worldwide. So that's a really cool, advantage that we have now with our team, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We've got the sports entertainment certification now, so it's pretty cool. Looking forward to doing more certifications and things of that nature ongoing. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Real excited about that. We got a great lineup for you here today. Jackson Shembekar is in the house, the cryptocurrency NFT expert and author as well. He's got a brand new book out as well. We got Michelle James, CPA, attorney, and tax resolution specialist, TaxPro of Tampa, here on the program. So there's some exciting things to talk about there. Let's go back to Jackson. So Jackson, when we were talking about these areas, you got the Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's interesting. You've got crypto, and then we had some other talking points that we're going to get to here as well. So you talked about the licensing rights and something that's cool too. You're also a pitcher at the University of Tampa. Congratulations on the scholarship and everything there as well. But name, image, likeness is also something that's coming out. We've got Mike Murphy with Murphy Auto Group. He set up Tate Martell, a business with Tate Martell, Murphy Martell. Sports and entertainment, but that's a whole nother area, like name, image, likeness. It is, yeah. And that's something I want to explore more about, kind of piggybacking my real estate brand with Keller Williams Realty and that sports and entertainment. Talk about that. How familiar are you with that?
Definitely familiar with it. Yeah, the whole name, image, likeness thing. It's all a marketing thing. But it's the first time in which athletes can market themselves, and it's huge. I have several friends that are all committed D1 athletes. Of course, they're playing at different universities, and they're a barstool athlete, or they're this athlete, but they're getting paid. Yeah. I mean, they are getting Instagram sponsorships, whether it's Instagram or not. They're getting paid, and they're getting paid by these different companies to promote XYZ product. But people actually follow them. Yeah. So think about it. You have athletes all over the country, and say it can be anywhere from 1,000 followers to some of these guys have 50, 100,000 followers. Yeah. And they get paid pretty well. Now, of course, it's not hundreds of thousands of dollars yet, but you never know. Yeah. These guys go big one day. Now, it all builds into it. And you imagine, you go back 5 years, some of these superstar athletes that couldn't make a penny, right? Now they can. Yeah. And it's very big, and it can carry some of these guys through college. I mean, some of these guys go to college, they play their sport, and the only thing they have is that scholarship. Now they can actually market themselves, and that's up to them, and that's great.
Some of them hit it big, like you look at Joe Burrow, what a great quarterback, NFL quarterback he's turned out to be, and then you go back, I'm guessing it's about 5 years, but you have I think it was Johnny Manziel who was a looked to be a big player, but he ended up kind of fizzing out, right? Johnny Manziel didn't make it, so yeah, it's kind of a gamble there when you look at those college athletes, but yeah, it's interesting now. Name, image, likeness is a really emerging industry.
Yes, for sure.
Very cool. All right, so back to the crypto side. What else did you want to touch on? I'll make sure I touch on all the talking points you wanted to hit.
Definitely just mainly NFTs. We can dive into any subset of that. I mean, I've got a couple projects I'm passionate. Definitely the Bored Apes. Doodles is one of them, believe it or not. And when I say doodles, it's literally a doodle. Like these are hand-drawn doodles, basically. They're computer generated with a bunch of characteristics, 10,000 of them. And it's taking off. I got in 3 Ethereum, 6 Ethereum. The floor price is 10 right now, and I own some pretty rare ones. So wow. The space is taking off, and I really believe that You have to find a project that you're passionate about, that you like the artwork, and then you have to do that follow-up research in which, do you like the team? Do you really think that this floor price is good? Do you think that it's going to elevate?
Mm-hmm.
Is it strictly for the art, or is it an investment? And if
Yeah.
it is an investment, are you okay if it goes to zero and you're just sitting with the art?
Right, that's the big thing. When any investment you consider, folks, it's something that you want to think about from a term of, do I have any industry-specific knowledge? What is my risk tolerance? Jackson mentioned earlier, you have accredited investors, and if you know what that is, then you understand the capabilities of risk. And then you look at something that's what Tony Robbins, in one of my favorite books of his, it was Money, Master the Game. He always talked about asymmetrical risk reward, where you can find that huge upside with very limited downside. That's something to consider when you're thinking about this. I want to go back to Michelle James, tax resolution specialist, attorney, and CPA. Michelle, so what else are you seeing in your space? And you did mention that, yes, they did move forward with their hiring of 85,000 new IRS agents.
So the actual total agency workforce is about 83, but as they're projecting over the next few years, those who will be retiring or just leaving the IRS, they have certainly ramped up on adding to their workforce.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy to see, how many more people they're coming after dollars. I mean, let's look at it.
They're coming.
There's a $5 trillion wealth transfer that happened over the last 18 months, and of course, the attack on the middle class is something that I'm very passionate about. I hate seeing plumbers, carpenters, electricians, real estate agents, title agents, mortgage professionals. That middle class. If you're a middle income earner, by the way, what would be the definition of middle class in your opinion, Michelle? Income-wise.
My opinion?
Yeah. What's an income? What's a middle income earner?
Middle income, I'd probably say around 250.
Yeah. So in that range, in that
Mm-hmm.
250
And you
range.
figure you'd be taxed at about 32%, anywhere between, you'd be looking at anywhere between 32 to 35%.
Yeah.
And that's even possibly saying this is a married filing joint household, right? And again, you would be in a 32 to 35% tax bracket. Now, the good thing is at 250 all the way up to about 500,000, you would still be in that 35% tax bracket.
Yeah. And so when you look at some of the basic questions people have in real estate is, if I sell my primary residence, do I have to wait 2 years? What's the breakdown in terms of if I'm selling a primary residence versus a second home or investment property?
So as far as the primary residence is concerned, you are allotted an exclusion of about $250. If you've exceeded that exclusion throughout a 5-year period, you cannot get any more exclusions, meaning you would now have to recognize the gains on the property. So it's not just I sold my home.
Yeah.
All we're recognizing is the difference between what you have paid for it and what you've earned. And yes, there are some great deals where we can, typically exceed $250,000 in gains, but you don't really see that every day.
Right. So 250 is the number for primary residence. What about second home or investment?
So second home, you will, unless we do a 1031 exchange, once that property is sold, then you are required to pick up the income. But remember, as you are holding that property, the entire time you're taking a huge tax deduction, right? So it is a huge tax break to own any type of rental property. You get to deduct up to $25,000. You get to show a loss of up to $25,000 per year. So that becomes a huge tax break for most high income earners, right? And still leaving you in a position where you can still continue to acquire more, right? So you make $150,000 for the year, you deduct the property, some real estate losses of $25,000, you're still at $125,000. You're still kind of able to go out and buy property, right? So you're still kind of you have some type of liquid that you can actually show them that, I can still afford to buy something. But there are great ways of reducing taxable income.
reducing taxable income. We all want to pay the least amount that we can, legally and ethically and morally, pay the least amount of taxes. Michelle James can help you do that. Tax resolution specialist, TaxPro of Tampa, and she's online at TaxPro of Tampa. Here on TampaBay.com, TaxProofTampa.com, and she's an attorney also. How does that give you? What are some of the advantages of having, the dual degrees that you have? You're a CPA and an attorney. How does that play out for our listeners and viewers out there?
If you're in a situation where you're in a gotcha with the IRS, is where I'd be able to assist.
That's a situation you don't want to be in, right? Gotcha.
Absolutely. If you are in that situation, unfortunately, is where you would need my assistance, because you would not want to represent yourself in a court of law with the IRS.
Absolutely. You're talking about offering compromises, those types of scenarios?
Absolutely. And hopefully we can get to that even before you enter into a court of law. Typically when you enter there, it is usually because you have tried to evade taxable income.
Right.
You have tried to evade and avoid. And they have found, people who take numerous amount of deductions and then say, we have no income. You make yourself you are a high audit area.
Right.
When you have these huge deductions, but you never have any income. And so what that does is it just causes the IRS to trigger an investigation to see where all these deductions are coming from, because how are we continuously making these huge deductions and saying we have no income? What's the source of the money? Where is it leading to, and where is it coming from for these huge deductions?
Yeah. Let's leave it at that. Let's take a quick break. I want to ask you, when we come back, I'm going to ask you a little bit more about that. I'm going to talk about taxable income, ways to reduce your taxable income. Also, we got Jackson Shembekar in the house, cryptocurrency expert, NFTs as a topic as well. Plus our feel-good story coming right up. After overcoming addiction, Tampa woman inspires others to turn their lives around through this program. We'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you've been listening to the phenomenal Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in
813-917-1894.
Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing. Check out consumerqb.com.
Looking for a venue to host your next business or family event? Make it Largo Event Center. The Consumer Quarterback Show has used the Largo Event Center, and the hall and service you get is fantastic. Over 8,500 square feet of meeting space, perfect for events, expos, and trade shows. Upstairs offers space for smaller meetings and groups to include use of their lounge and game room. Plenty of room outside for car shows or food truck events and concerts. Largo Event Center is just west of US 19 on 126th Avenue. For booking and details, visit largoeventcenter.com. That's largoeventcenter.com. Or call Guy at 727-776-3442.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We like to feature our listings on air, and we've got a property for rent. We don't do a lot of rentals, but this one is Glenda's listing, 1807 Union Street in Clearwater. If you're looking for a nice property, this is a $3,500 rental at Union Street in Clearwater. 1807 Union Street in Clearwater. Beautiful property here. You've got a hot tub on site, 2,600 square feet, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. garage, open floor plan, and a cozy fireplace. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
The weather is sweet. Tell me something good.
All right, so we like to highlight local stories. We've got a gal named Brittany Gardner. She remembers it like it was yesterday. It was the moment her life changed forever. She's quoted as saying, "It's like my life began in May of 2016. I was ready to commit suicide," she told Fox 13. She's coming back from a work trip on 75. "I was done. I was done with this life. I had been drinking since the age of 15. I was ready to commit suicide," end quote. And she says, but something stopped her. Instead of ending her life, Brittany surrendered and asked for help. There's no real way to describe it, she's quoted as saying, and she took nearly a decade to get and stay sober, but she shares her story through a message of hope through the Phoenix, a national nonprofit organization helping to redefine sobriety. And she says, whenever I can work with individuals, help people see that are struggling and help them share this message, it's where I belong, she says. So now she runs the Phoenix, Florida, Tampa chapter, and she described it as an active, sober community. They work together, box and paddleboard, and do yoga and meditation, art and dance. So it's a pretty cool story. Check her out online. Tampa woman inspires others to turn their lives around through programs. She's helping people overcome addiction. So that's a worthy cause and great work. We commend that as well. All right, so we got Jackson Shembekar here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, as well as Michelle James, TaxPro of Tampa.com. And Jackson, back to you. Give us a little bit into the insights as far as mindset when you're an investor and you're looking at crypto, and then maybe some final thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. Regarding crypto, you have to understand that this is one of the most volatile markets almost ever.
Yeah.
A crash in this is 50%. We see 10% movements almost daily.
Right.
I mean, this is stuff that moves, and then you need to expect it. There's if you go in and expect consolidation, keep in mind the consolidation is plus or minus 3-4%.
Yeah.
That's not where you should be at. You need to expect the volatility, be okay with it, and try to play to the advantage of that. So what I highly advise is that, I mean, first off, you have to do competent research and you have to know what you're investing in. A project like Cardano is something that I'm very passionate about. I write about it in the book. It's a project in which peer review editing is used heavily. And what that basically means is that you have some of the smartest guys in the crypto space, and they all review each other's work. And it's an academic term because that means that mistakes very, very hardly slip through the cracks.
Right.
It's very difficult.
Reviewing each other's work. Sounds like we need that in the medical space with
I wish, right?
Fauci and the NIH and anyways CDC. But yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and this project it's been around for a while. I mean, I got in under a penny. It's well over $1 now. It's done very, very well for me, and I believe it's because of these principles and the leadership of Charles Hoskinson that's done that. But the mindset being, you have to be, once you pick a project like that, so for example, it's Cardano for me, when you pick that project and it goes down 20%, you cannot abandon. You cannot sell. You are saying that I'm smart enough that I invested in it. So if you invested in it and you believe that it's a good investment and you're in for the long term, whether that means crypto long term or real long term, you have to be able to double down and you have to go in. Right. You have to. So if you're buying something at $1, $100, whatever it is, and that goes down to 80 cents, $800, you have to be able to buy more.
You can't freak out.
You have to.
Yeah, exactly, because you never realize that loss until you actually pull the money out of the system.
Exactly. And you're the person that invested. So if you invested, that means you believed in it.
Right.
So if you're going down, you have to view it, and Warren Buffett even says this, all it is a sale. That's all it is. It's just a sale. You're getting more shares at a cheaper price, more coins at a cheaper price.
Yeah.
And then you're waiting for it to go up because you did the research.
Right.
That's all it means.
Yeah. And with the stock market and other places, you can bet on that to happen and do what they call shorting the stock. So
yes.
So Michelle James, final thought from you. Top tips, nuggets of advice. Michelle James, TaxPro. Yep. Go ahead.
Get in early. Have someone review, because once we file those amended returns are highly scrutinized. Make sure we're not forgetting any type of taxable income. The IRS is certainly waiting for those people. For those people who've been working from home, you cannot deduct your home office expenses if you are an employee. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But, the rules differ for some. If you're self-employed, the rules are definitely a bit different. But just make sure you're talking to someone. Stay off of TurboTax and talk to someone. If you are more than just a W-2, you need to be talking to a professional.
Right. That's a good point. There's all these different commercials you see, a lot of these big companies advertising for these, these online or these do-it-yourself type people. There's no substitution for a local expert, somebody that you can talk to, set up a Zoom call, go and meet and have a Starbucks or coffee or something. Getting in face-to-face with something, developing that relationship, that's such a key part of how I've grown my businesses over the years is relationships, right? And setting up those relationships through radio show or other avenues, but to have that person that you can reach out to, especially sometimes if there's something going on, you get a call, you get a letter from the IRS. Michelle James is who you want to have on your side, CPA. She's an attorney, TaxPro of Tampa.com. And also with Jackson, when you think about cryptocurrency, NFTs, he's a published author. He's the expert here in this space. You want to reach out. We'd love to have you call the show hotline or text. Call 813-917-1894. Just call or text. We'll put you in touch with Jackson or Michelle if you're looking for information about investing and cryptocurrency, NFTs, or just maybe want to get a copy of his book. Reach out, 813-917-1894. You can also do this. Let's do this for the first 3 listeners. Just go ahead and text crypto in, and we'll put you in touch as well. Crypto to 813-917-1894. Or, of course, TaxPro of Tampa, Michelle James. You can get a review, Michelle. Talk about that, because I think people don't realize up to 3 years, I believe it is, you can go back and kind of amend those taxes and get a review and make sure you're not leaving money on the table.
Absolutely. I do offer a free review just to take a look at your tax returns, see what or if there is anything that could be changed to lower that tax liability, and kind of discuss what those are. And even if we can't get those 3 years changed, maybe we can do some things differently going forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can set up great tax strategies for our small businesses. Great tax strategies. You just need to get to me before the end of the year. We need to be doing this during the year.
Right. This time we're mid-January here, coming into January. What are some key dates coming up that people should be alert?
January 24th starts the tax filing season for e-filers. We have April 18th is our filing deadline. October 15th will be if you are an extension. And let me remind everyone, an extension to file is not an extension to pay.
Right.
If you wait to pay the IRS in October, you will be charged significant penalties and interest. So even if you have not filed, they still expect their payment. Well, how do I know what the payment is going to be? You have to estimate that.
Yeah.
So you still need your return prepped, even though it cannot be finalized, unless you are willing to absorb those penalties and interest when you do file at a later date.
Right. By the way,
and there are tons of changes, and we can, we'll probably do that on the next call. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yep.
But there are tons of little tax changes.
Yep, and if you are in real estate or you got a business or any type of business, first thing you do is set up a PA, an LLC, whatever type of entity, and start getting that out of your personal name for liability purposes, tax purposes, and Michelle can help you do that as well. Michelle James, TaxPro of Tampa.com, Jackson Shembekar as well. Jackson, how can folks find you, and what's your social?
Best way is Jackson Shembekar on Instagram. First and last name. There you go.
Jackson Shembekar, Instagram. Find him online. You got the book online as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Amazon, every bookstore in America.
Awesome. Very good. And then Michelle James, best place for folks to find you.
TaxPro of Tampa, 813-831-6100.
831-6100. That's an 813 number. TaxPro of Tampa. So, hey, awesome show. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you, Jackson. Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks a lot, Brandon.
Thank you.
And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community is what we always talk about. Lots of ways to do that. You could donate some time at maybe a local food bank. And I know, my daughter does. We do some volunteering with her with the organization is escaping my name right now, or my mind here, but there's different places you can go and get hours for college credits and things of that nature. Have your kids get involved, be a force for good in the community. Lots of ways that you can do that and be kind to one another out there, and continue to tune into our show, consumerqb.com, platinummvpteam.kw.com. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.